Hi, we're Aspire Consulting, and today we'll be examining the concept of the metaverse. So, our team consists of Adelia, Lizette, Michelle, Ryan, Omar, Safia, Sophie, and myself. And to begin, let's start with a brief introduction into what exactly the metaverse is and what does this mean. So, currently, millions of people around the globe rely on internet as their primary mode of social interaction. But however, as our need for deeper, more immersive experiences grows, the internet is evolving into something much more dynamic, this being the metaverse. So this evolution is driven by our desire for more engaging ways to connect with others and explore digital realities. The metaverse is a virtual reflection of our physical world, offering users a space for immersive experiences. And at its core, the metaverse is a collective digital space where the physical and virtual worlds converge, blending entertainment, collaboration, and socializing in new ways. And it could serve as a social hub where people can interact, work, play games, and all of this through digital avatars. And it's a theoretical concept composed of various online environments. And there's no single entry point to the metaverse. Instead, it can be accessed through a variety of devices and platforms, such as VR headsets, gaming platforms, and other workplaces, and additionally, online video games. So the metaverse is expanding rapidly, and it's becoming part of our daily lives thanks to major tech companies like Meta, Microsoft, and Google that are building the foundational platforms. But it's not just these companies that are shaping the space, it's also its users, creators, and developers who are helping to define what the metaverse will become. And in order to fully understand the power and impact of the metaverse, it's important to understand how it evolved, really. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the key milestones that have helped to shape the metaverse as we know today.
So while the metaverse feels extremely modern, the concept has actually been around for a long time. The technology that would set the scene for the idea of the metaverse was called the Sensorama, and it was created by Morton Heilig in 1956. The Sensorama was the first VR machine, and it used a 3D video, audio, sense, and a vibrating chair to give the user the experience that they were riding a motorcycle in Brooklyn. Heilig would later create the first version of this to be worn on the head in 1960. In 1978, MIT created the Aspen Movie Map, which was a computer generated tour of Aspen, Colorado. And this really sparked the idea that VR could be a vehicle to take the user to another place. The term metaverse was actually coined by Neil Stephenson in his 1992 novel Snow Crash, and this described the very concept of virtual escapism. In the novel, the metaverse was a virtual world that the users used to escape in order to ignore the grim realities of their real world. These ideas would continue to influence the real world, and in the 90s, Sega introduced a series of VR arcade games, including the VR1 motion simulator in 1994. This was one of the most advanced VR headsets of its time, and it would not quite be matched until the 2010 prototype of the Oculus Rift. In 2011, Ernest Cline's novel Ready Player One was released, and it reached immediate acclaim and had a movie deal shortly thereafter, making very clear the public's desire for a virtual experience. In 2014 is when Facebook as a company began to show interest in virtual reality by acquiring the Oculus VR for $2 billion. So this really pushed and drove other businesses, and many large tech companies began to get involved, with Google creating the Cardboard and Google Glass AR glasses, and Sony and Samsung going so far as to announce the development of their own VR headsets. In 2016, the metaverse met the real world when Pokemon Go was introduced. Users visited real-life locations in order to unlock virtual locations in this metaverse, and it was an absolute hit. The race to create the most popular metaverse was then on. And Facebook would expand upon its purchase of the Oculus VR by creating Facebook Horizons, their own virtual reality sandbox where users were able to design their avatar, build their own environments, play games, and visit the worlds of their friends. This was announced in 2019, with beta testing launching in early 2020. And in 2021, Facebook changed their name to Meta and publicly launched Meta Horizons, their own metaverse. While the rebrand to Meta was meant to signify their leadership in the metaverse, the world was actually met with many mixed reviews, with a steady stream of monthly users. But those users reported a lack of performance and character in the game, with some going so far as to call it soulless. That said, there continues to be a demand for a digital space such as this one, as we can see an explosive popularity of games like Roblox and Fortnite. And in order to better understand what drives this demand, it's really important to understand the capabilities of the technology and who the target audience is for the metaverse. So I'll pass it over to Adelia to discuss.
Thank you, Ryan. So, the metaverse has the capabilities as a shared virtual social space to be a virtual environment for social interactions, work, shopping, and entertainment within people's everyday lives that parallels the physical reality. Since metaverse possesses ownership of these spaces and is slowly but surely establishing its foothold, it will be critical for digital marketing as virtual reality becomes more and more popular. Although it's still in its experimental phase, one can already perform various activities like purchase real estate, create video games, create customizable avatars like we discussed before, collaborate with coworkers remotely, socialize with new or existing friends, shop for virtual and real products, attend events, play VR games, as well as get a job. Companies that invested in the metaverse have stated that the target audience of the metaverse is Gen Z, millennials, and men. Taking into account the capabilities of the metaverse when it comes to the virtual environment, the target audience fits well. As we know, the younger generations that grew up with the internet already utilize the internet as well as computers um, more frequently than the older generations. These are essential for many aspects of their lives. As of 2023, Statista reports that men also sit at 53% of gamers. Gamers are also more likely to purchase VR, virtual reality headsets to play games, which then in turn gives them an entry point into the metaverse. In the next session, we'll be exploring how the metaverse can be used in different industries.
So, since the metaverse isn't attached to like any particular product or brand, we want to touch on the use of metaverse in various industries. It's been used in the medical industry to simulate surgery and help doctors perform more accurate surgeries in real time. It's been used in the military through futuristic combat goggles that allow soldiers to see in the dark, see through smoke, and see around corners. It's also being used by manufacturers like BMW to create digital twins, which is basically like a metaverse replica of like a real life. It could be like a product, it could be a warehouse. It's really like whatever they want it to be. And so you're allowed to see either like your product or see your space and like visualize it in the metaverse before you commit to having it in real life. And then lastly, we have the gaming industry. And so for consumers, the metaverse is used recreationally. And then for business, the metaverse provides exposure and profit. Businesses have the ability to implement parts of their brand into the games, which expands their reach and allows them to draw in potential customers with various marketing tactics.
So now we're going to talk about how the metaverse, what it means for the future of marketing. Next slide, please. So first, the metaverse lets brands create truly immersive environments that go beyond your typical ads or websites. Imagine walking into a virtual store designed by your favorite brand and being able to experience their vibe and their products in a whole new way. Now it's actually about stepping into the brand's world and not just having a look from the outside. With virtual showrooms and product trials, you can now try on clothes or check out furniture right in the metaverse, knowing exactly what you're getting without ever having to touch the physical item. It's truly a game changer for online shopping. The metaverse also allows for marketing that's not only interactive, but it adapts and updates in real time. It's about reacting to consumer behavior on the spot, making each experience truly unique. The beauty of the metaverse is that it removes any and all physical boundaries. Brands can now reach a global audience from a single virtual spot, which helps expand their market reach beyond traditional and past limits. Every interaction within the metaverse can be tracked and analyzed, which offers brands detailed data about consumer behavior, their preferences, and their engagement. And this information is essential for developing targeted and effective marketing strategies. Now we'll talk about real world examples. So first we have Gucci Town in Roblox, and this isn't just any virtual space. It's an immersive town where you can grab a cup of coffee, you can check out art, and you can shop in a digital Gucci store. This interactive space allows users to explore and engage with the brand in ways that we have never seen before. In addition to this, we have Forever 21's Shop City and Roblox, which takes it a step further. Here, you don't just shop, you actually are able to run your own Forever 21 shop within Roblox. And this experience merges gaming with retail, allowing users to manage everything from inventory to the way the store is laid out. And it truly is a unique way for users to immerse fully into what the brand stands for. And it allows them to experience what goes behind the scenes of a retail management or operating a retail store all within a virtual setting. And these are just the beginning when it comes to the potential of the metaverse for transforming the marketing landscape. Now we'll shift our focus to a few standout success stories where brands were actually able to drive real engagement and create real value within these virtual worlds. So we have Nike's Nike Land and Roblox, and it is a great example of how creative brand engagement exists in the metaverse. It's a virtual world where fans can play, connect, and dive into a digital version of Nike's real-world headquarters. Here, users can engage in digital sports, they can create their own games, and they're even able to wear virtual Nike gear. This approach not only makes Nike stand out to a younger crowd, but it taps into the new market of virtual goods. Moving on to fashion, we have a collaboration between Fortnite and Balenciaga, which helps break new ground by introducing high-end fashion and merging it with the gaming world. This partnership offers exclusive in-game apparel, which blends high fashion again with digital culture. And this is more than just the virtual. This collaboration includes real-world clothing, which links digital sales and digital trends with physical fashion sales. And we believe that this strategy helps broaden Balenciaga's reach and it helps them connect with the gaming community. And on the corporate side, we have Facebook's transformation into Meta, which again marks a significant shift towards embracing the metaverse. They announced this in October of 2021, and this branding truly does highlight Meta's commitment to blending the virtual and augmented reality into our daily lives and interactions. And for marketers, this means a whole new set of tools for engaging, for campaigns, and for really trying to drive and promote a fully immersive virtual world. These examples show just how strongly the metaverse is merging technology with marketing and how it's revolutionizing, how we connect with brands and each other. Now I'm going to pass it over to Sophie, who will explore its marketing revenue potential.
Thank you, Safia. What's the metaverse market revenues? So the consumer can create, sell, and using the digital assets in virtual environments. So this creates a super dynamic that build a new ecosystem. Metaverse market revenue expect from the 65 billion in 2022, increasing by over 2 trillion 2032. So how can this metaverse help the market? It's a great chance to connect with people in totally new and exciting way. Also, it helps business push their limit and establish their brand in fresh direction. So according to Statista, the metaverse boosts brand awareness, also user engagement, accessibility. Also, it offers immersive product demonstration, connect with a personalized experience that make everything feel special. So how metaverse apply in music industry? So Justin Bieber virtual concert on November 18, 2021 utilized several tactics. So this virtual concert served as a cross promotional marketing for his live concert. So the merch sale offer exclusive items do this virtual events. So cooperation with a brand Coca-Cola join with a virtual festival. So user can create an avatar, play game, and take photo with a virtual celebrity. So Spotify Island became the first music streaming brand with a Robux. So the market focused more on younger audience and fostering a kind of social community. So how to sell music in the metaverse? So artists can sell their music as a NFT. Fans love it because they not only buy music, they are investing in their favorite artists. So NFT as an identity, as a unique digital assets stored on blockchain that verify ownership on art, music, and virtual goods. So we can see Whitney Houston make a on Risk demo at age 17. So almost for 1 million. Wow. Can you believe that? This not sale not only highlight the value of music, intellectual property, also present how technology connect with artists and consumer in new ways. Now, Anna will talk about benefit and risks.
So the metaverse represents a rapidly evolving virtual environment that is generating considerable interest across various sectors. And while it holds immense potential, it also comes with its own set of challenges. One of the biggest upsides of the metaverse is how it can connect people. So with avatars, people can connect and interact in real time, no matter where they're located in the world. And another benefit would be that it also allows users to engage in more immersive experiences. So from virtual concerts and gaming to virtual tourism and workspaces. Additionally, it also provides economic opportunities for businesses to build virtual storefronts, create digital assets, and even offer services in the metaverse. So virtual economies are growing, so such as with NFTs and digital goods, which leads to the creation of job roles like developers and virtual architects as well. And this development opens new economic markets for both emerging entrepreneurs and already established corporations. So additionally, with learning and collaboration, so these are also two significant benefits that come with the metaverse, as they also help to remove barriers and even lead to increased productivity in the education and healthcare sectors. However, there are also some serious risks to remain aware of. So one of the biggest concerns would be privacy and security. As with any online space, the metaverse presents risks around personal data security and privacy. And with more personal interactions happening in virtual environments, there's an increased risk of hacking and misuse of data. Then there's also the issue of addiction and mental health. So with the immersive nature of the metaverse, it could potentially lead to issues with addiction or even a detachment from reality. So prolonged use could also potentially impact mental health, and users may struggle with balancing their virtual and physical lives as well. There's also the idea of a digital divide, where not everyone has equal access to the technology needed to participate in the metaverse, and which would go ahead and have a gap, leaving marginalized communities further behind in terms of economic and educational opportunities. Finally, there's also the ethical concerns to be aware about. So since the metaverse is still in its early stages, and as it grows, these ethical questions are about identity, consent, and behavior, and they'll need to be addressed, such as who controls the virtual world, and how do we ensure for treatment and prevent harassment in these spaces. So as we continue to explore this new frontier, it's crucial to strike a balance between embracing its benefits and managing its challenges. And now let's go ahead and explore some of its potential implications in the music industry.
So we believe that the metaverse is a great alternative, but not a replacement. So, for example, in the music industry, there are so many artists that have already started to have their own VR concerts in movie theaters, like the one shown here. These are shown in different countries all around the world. So, Hyperfocus, which is one that I actually got to experience this last year, it did provide a closer view into like the album's concept. It brought that to life. Um, VR concerts are also a cheaper alternative for fans while still allowing them to get that immersive experience that they would get. Um, and it also allows fans from countries where the artist isn't touring to still have the chance to experience their concert and their tour. It would also be beneficial for artists that are no longer able to tour or want to retire from touring. Um, However, fans still want to have that in-person experience, which is why this can't be a replacement for that, but it would definitely be a good alternative to just see the concert from a different perspective. Now, metaverse and marketing has proven to be good for promotion, because it allows businesses to expand their audience through new creative marketing tactics. People are able to tune in from different parts of the world without having to be in a specific location. And it has also helped create a transformative and immersive new way of teaching. A CNN article stated that different schools are starting to use the metaverse in their teaching. Astronomy students are able to go on a spacewalk, while history students are able to time travel through the metaverse. So it definitely opens the door for more up close experience, whether it has to do with music, learning, or buying products. However, we believe it's important to utilize the metaverse in moderation in order to not completely step away from the real world. As we said before, the metaverse is a great alternative experience, but should not be a replacement. And now we'll do a quick recap to close off our presentation.
So, in conclusion, it is safe to say that the metaverse is no longer a concept of the future. It is here, it's expanding and evolving before our eyes, and is already changing many industries. What began as an idea or a vision of a virtual universe has become a thriving digital landscape where businesses, creators, and consumers are redefining how we connect, how we work, how we shop, and experience entertainment and play as well. Um, from immersive brand experiences and virtual real estate, um, um, making groundbreaking advancements in healthcare, music, gaming, and marketing. The metaverse is unlocking opportunities that were once impossible. Companies are investing billions, digital assets are gaining value, and users are engaging in ways that blur the lines between physical and virtual reality. But with innovation comes also responsibility. Next, please. Just like any digital online world, it is always vulnerable to cyber attacks and unsafe practices. So privacy, security, and ethical concerns must be addressed to ensure that the metaverse remains a space for opportunity and not a space of exploitation. As we are still experiencing the expansion of the digital revolution, one thing is definitely clear that the metaverse is not just changing the internet, it's changing the way we experience the world in our communication as well, and is only the beginning. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Well, fantastic. Really, this court has a real talent when it comes to be making presentation. The quality of the analysis is amazing. Your group, in general, I think is a very quiet group. So you're like the silent geniuses, that doesn't say much. So I'm hoping to see some real disruptive thing going on because you do have the skills. I mean, your presentation is very well structured and the way you go from one person to the other. And I can sense some depth in your analysis in some way. And that's one thing that's really amazing about Discord that I enjoy working with you is there is an interest in what you do. There is a pride in what you do and everyone is trying to do well. Not just a basic service, you go in depth and all that. So fantastic. Great job having a background as well. I know everyone is trying to have their own background, their own brand. So you starting to brand yourself, have your background. And this one, I'm sort of familiar with it. I've seen it before. So congrats. It's fun to see that you're making progress that I think are relevant for the industry. I think the metaverse, that's why I throw this one. There's some groups that really like it. And I think you must have liked it because you did very well. And some group in the past few years that we're sort of lost with it. But now I would like to see the general amazing skills of this cohort 12 in terms of in-depth analysis translate into something that it's sort of something I would expect also from the students, from Mia, more creativity when it comes to the critical thinking for the client. So is this a group of very intelligent people? Yes. Can they take a subject and study it and copy the information and then give me the information? Yes. They're like AI. They're fantastic. They can look at all of this and come up with a set of 6 people, 8 people presenting something. But now when it comes to Cade and Corbett, there I need to have the creativity. It's like a new song. I'm asking you to compose a new song. So I'm not asking you to play an existing song. I'm not trying to see if you're good at singing or if you're good at playing an instrument. You're not replicating anything. You have to come up with your own recipe, your own album for Cade and Corbett. And that's what happens. And here, that's where I'm not too sure yet, that I'm a little concerned because, you know, I'm reading those opportunities, I'm reading the strategies, and so far, there's some that's starting to take a good direction, but nothing amazing as the presentation that you're doing. So I'm hoping that you will take this challenge, which is one, analyze, two, criticize, three, come up with your own. And so you have to create, there's a huge amount of creation because you have to visualize the future for the client based on what you know of the market and based on what you know of the client. And you have to have this real personality, engagement, commitment to, we think you need to do X, Y, and Z. And we're going to tell you why. And this is what we think. And this is why we think it. And we're going to back it up as much as possible. So that's what I'm hoping for. And since in a few seconds, we're going to see the last presentation for Alex Ritchie.
Okay, so hello everyone, and Alex Ritchie. Tonight we are going to be going over your brand and recommendations about different marketing strategies so that you can thrive as an artist. Our team is made up of Kiara, myself, Sophia, Vic, Frida, Christian, Alyssa, Gabriel, and Leanna. So Alex, you are a 23-year-old artist with music that runs through your blood. You were born into a musical family with your father being Alberto Latorre, who was a member of the iconic 80s ballad group Los Pasteles Verdes. You began producing mariachi music, a genre deeply rooted in Mexican culture, and you didn't stop there. You started drawing inspirations from pop music from Michael Jackson to Neo. You are not just any artist, you are a trailblazer. You are making a unique space in the music industry by blending traditional mariachi with the rhythms of reggaeton. This blend is all about breaking cultural barriers and bringing fans of both music genres together. This is not often seen in the industry since artists usually stick to their own genres. Since you are a fairly new artist, breaking into a genre that has little to no audience means there are various opportunities to help bring you to the top. Your signature mariachi suit jacket is more than just a fashion statement. It symbolizes your heritage and how you want to stick to your roots in your music.
In our effort to identify key areas of growth, we conducted a survey with 20 of your peers combined with our collective expertise. Based on our findings, we've highlighted the following areas of opportunity for you. 1, a signature image. Consistent of a recognizable look was a reoccurring theme in our research. Developing a unique visual identity that aligns with your music will strengthen your brand and make you instantly recognizable. Number 2 would be incorporating mariachi influences. Many respondents expressed a desire to hear more of the mariachi sound woven into your music. As a member of the Latin community, embracing these cultural elements could resonate deeply with your audience and further distinguishing your sound. And lastly, number 3, a stronger personal connection. There is a clear demand for more insight into who you are beyond the music. Fans want to connect with your personal story, values, and causes. Being more open about these aspects of your life can foster a deeper relationship with your audience. By focusing on these areas, you can enhance your artistic identity, strengthen your cultural ties, and build a more meaningful connection with your fan base. We've identified several key areas of growth and have broken them down into 3 main goals for you. Goal number 1, to expand your target market and strengthen your fan engagement by fostering a sense of community with your fan base. Goal number 2 focuses on diversifying your current audience by targeting niche segments and developing new products or genres. And finally, goal number 3, it revolves around image development and rebranding, positioning you as part of the new generation of reggaeton.
Here are a few branding ideas. Alex Ritchie, the fashion icon. Here are the facts. Your audience is primarily Gen Z, and this younger generation leans more into fashion. As we also want to appeal to the Latina fans, these communities also have a higher tendency to connect and interact with fashion influencers. The potential here is huge. We would like to have you lean into the mariachi style blended with modern streetwear. This will open the door to brand collaborations with Latina designers and get you to be more established in the community. Actually, a perfect brand to partner with would be Raised by Latinos. This brand is Latino owned and based in both LA and Toronto. They often uplift artists in their blog and even have pages dedicated to different looks in their two main cities, which is once again LA and Toronto. The downside here is that this is more of a long-term goal, and we would like to get you some success with our strategies now. Next, we have Alex Ritchie, the sporty singer. Here are the facts. Latina communities love sports and are very loyal to their teams. As you have expressed your love for sports, it would be a great opportunity to lean into this love with a specific team like the LA Lakers. This way you can connect with fans and be authentic to who you really are outside of music. Unfortunately, this commitment would also take too long for the growth we are seeking right now and can lead to a divide within the fan base due to their team preference. We also want you to be able to authentically stay true to your team that you personally support.
So we've landed on something we're calling the next gen concept. So our concept taps into a major shift happening in Gen Z's music preferences. Listeners today value authenticity and social awareness, yet many feel that reggaeton relies too much on explicit and derogatory themes. There's a growing demand for something fresh, music that keeps that energy of reggaeton but aligns with deeper values. By blending reggaeton with the cultural richness of mariachi, you can stand out with a clean, genre-bending style. This approach expands your audience, especially among young Latina listeners seeking meaningful lyrics. The challenge? Commitment and personal discovery. But the opportunity is huge, and it's something you can start building now. This concept is rooted in key values: family, culture, and community, along with a strong stance on social issues, gender equality, and education. These values are shaping a new generation of listeners who want reggaeton that represents them in a different way. By embracing this shift, you position yourself as a leader in the evolution of reggaeton. The goal isn't just to make music, but to create a movement, one that resonates with fans on a deeper level and sets you apart in the industry. Let's take a closer look at the specific audiences who you most likely to connect with and support this new direction.
Here's what we know about your target audience. Our team found that your core demographic is 40% male, and 60% female, ranging from ages 12 to 20. As we mentioned in our next gen concept, this audience is heavily influenced by Mexican culture and they have strong family values. With this being a younger demographic, we can also tell that your fans are familiar with the digital world and social media, and they likely care about modern social issues. So your audience has given us a lot to work with, and this data really helps us with our strategic approach to maximize your growth and engagement. So now, to give you a better vision into your ideal fan base, let's look at two specific personas that our team has crafted, Christine and Chloe. While these are not real people, they do represent key points highlighted in your current audience. So first we have Christine Alvarez. She's 14 years old, lives here in Los Angeles. She is our perfect example of your typical younger fan. She's an avid TikToker who regularly creates and consumes content. Christine is also family oriented and values those strong connections. So like many teens her age, she loves to sing and her taste is rather diverse. She enjoys K-pop, EDM, and mariachi music. So now I want you to imagine Christine viewing your content and listening to your music. She is searching for authenticity and someone who shares her values and love for music. This is just on the younger end of the spectrum though, so let's take a look at an older persona, Chloe Rose. So this is Chloe Rose. She's 20 years old and lives in Northridge, California. Now she's a bit older than Christine, representing the other end of your target age range. She's in college here at CSUN, just like you were and just like we are now, and is a Chicano/Chicana studies major. So she's engaged within her identity and current social issues. Chloe also cares about the environment, is a small makeup influencer on her social media platforms, and is religious. From these aspects, we can assume that Chloe is looking for meaningful content that reflects her diverse interests. So these two personas represent how far your target fan base can reach. Christine and Chloe are both caring individuals who are looking for content that connects with them on a deeper level. So our team has kept these personas in mind to make sure we are strategizing in a way that appeals to not only your goals, but benefits your fans' experience as well. So in addition to researching your target audience, we also explored how you compare and contrast to other artists in the industry.
So Alex, we came up with this artist spectrum chart to kind of position you in the Latina music industry. And it shows dimensions from explicit to non-explicit content to traditional reggaeton to genre bending. We believe you fit just in between genre bending and traditional reggaeton, but more on the non-explicit side. Since you offer a more introspective and soft approach to reggaeton, and also your genre bending elements from mariachi mixed with reggaeton and creating overall a unique image for you in the industry. Also, this chart can help you identify potential collaborators such as Bizarrap and Tiny, while also maintaining your fresh image and brand. So the overall strategy here, as you could see, we don't have a lot of artists in this bottom right quadrant. And we believe you can take advantage of that market since there's a gap there with your socially conscious reggaeton. And so when it comes to model artists, these three artists right here embody qualities that align with your brand and career path. And we can analyze and take bits and pieces from their brand, such as their marketing strategy, fan engagement, as well as their musical styles. Starting with Darkiel, he mixes traditional reggaeton with a more softer and accessible themes, providing a template for your lyrics and branding. Danny Ocean, also non-explicit, more romantic kind of reggaeton that has succeeded in the music industry. And of course, Bad Bunny being the leader in Latina music, it's crucial to use him as a model since he is so high up there. And between his genre bending influences, mixing reggaeton, salsa, electronica, him being culturally influential, socially conscious, it's really important to look up to him in this modeling. So why does this all matter? They all showcase paths you could take, and you can pull inspiration from these artists while crafting your own brand and image, and these will all reinforce your niche and help you connect with your target audience.
Okay, so we found your niche, we've found your audience, and we've found what really makes you different within your genre. Now it's time to really put in the work, and we hope that you're ready, and we know that you're ready. So we've created a 3-year plan to chalk up practical initiatives that you can implement right now. And we organize this plan in 3 phases with tactics that we feel address your challenges as an artist, that are realistic to your personality and in tune with your current position. So with that, let's get into phase 1. So phase 1 is establishing your brand identity. You can literally do this right after this presentation. We've slated these tactics to define your artist identity and have it translate seamlessly across all social media platforms. The exploratory research, we got to hear honest opinions from people experiencing your music and online presence for the first time, from people who have those attributes that align with your target audience demographic. The overall consensus was that they really enjoyed your music, but the one thing they did mention to us was your visual content. They just felt like they didn't really get to experience the real Alex Ricci. And they love that you brought the mariachi suit into this new direction, but felt that you can incorporate just elements of the suit and show your own aesthetic. That's really what they wanted to see, is like, who is the real Alex Ricci? And we've seen the impact and hold that social media has within every industry. So it's extremely important to have the connection between you and the online world be seamless. And our team found a number of ways that you can up your social media presence and elevate the user experience for your fans.
And we're going to start with YouTube. So YouTube being the #1 platform used for Gen Z users and the #1 platform for the Latin community. We decided to take a look at your YouTube, ways to optimize share your music. So for example, creating a banner of your image or channel that instantly helps people see who it is, what it is, gets the vibes right away. You can also use the highlighter tool to push your new singles up and showcase those. You can curate playlists so listeners also have a visual understanding that you have reggaeton music, mariachi music, rock content, lyric videos, anything you want to put in there. And you can also upload a logo across all platforms just to have some unity between those platforms. Lastly, even just creating social icons and providing links to other socials is very important. And you can use these tools for other social media accounts as well. And these easy changes instantly will lead to more engagement and more streams through just having established links. And it really can let your fans know that they can connect with you in multiple ways and new ways. So phase 2. Okay. Since you are a CSUN Vogue, still phase 1, since you are a CSUN Vogue artist, it's really good to know and want to share with you that CSUN actually has one of the most prominent Latin alternative radio stations in California. And that's a really good opportunity to use radio to unveil your next gen concept that we've created. Just simply, you can get your catalog into the library. You can play your songs during those key listening hours. You can either get interviews, share your stories through segments on the radios, and even if you're declined by CSUN, it's still a really warm community to be a part of and grow a relationship to. And radio had always played a unique role within the Latino community, and it serves as a trusted guide of cultural information at home and abroad. And according to Nielsen data, Hispanics spent over 12 hours a week listening to radio, which is 33 minutes above the total market average. And another form of radio we could target is college radio. And the reason our group really loved college radio for Alex Ricci is because of the high performance of word of mouth marketing. If an artist is recommended at one station, their radio, the whole community actually takes note and they listen. They listen to each other. It's a really strong community. And they normally focus on playing local and upcoming artists. So we really suggest that you should check it out. And also it's just a great place to meet people. And locally, you can always go familiarize yourself with local events as well. So you can meet people, collaborate with new artists, and make content to network and keep building your brand and release your new genre of reggaeton. Now I'll hand it off to Gabe.
Thank you, Kiara. For phase 3 of your development, the question is, how can you penetrate both Gen Z and Latino markets? We recommend a combination of product collaborations as well as strategic live appearances in order to resonate with Gen Z's value-driven social awareness and Latino audiences' love and loyalty for their favorite sports teams, musicians, and celebrities. Picking the right clothing brands to collaborate with and to include in your style will be key to aligning your image with Gen Z values. We recommend wearing socially conscious brands and collaborating with socially conscious fashion brands. And finally, with a little bit of success building your brand and reputation, we think a regional college tour could be possible and would give you access to more young fans in your target demographics. By utilizing the National Association for Campus Activities, you could book directly with talent buyers on college campuses throughout the Southwest and coordinate with other artists to elevate each other's careers. In summary, we feel that you're a very strong artist who occupies a fertile niche in the industry. Your lyrical style, social consciousness, and flexible use of different genres gives your music and your style mass audience appeal. But you need to position yourself strategically in order to reach your maximum growth potential. We recommend that you expand your market, build a stronger fan community, hone in on your distinct genre niche, and develop your brand to better distinguish yourself from the competition with your image and your style. By demonstrating what makes your blend of music and cultural styles unique, you can stand out as a genre pioneer and build a loud and engaged community where fans of the next generation of reggaeton can get excited about being a part of something new. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we hope to see you at the Grammys.
All right, fantastic. Well, I know that it's past 1 minute, but I want to take 2 minutes to just say a few things because I'm absolutely delighted. I'm so happy that you guys have been the last group because you perform extremely well. As far as I'm concerned, this is exemplary to have you present the way you did for the last group. I hope that, and it's funny because you asked me questions, but in some way you already answered the questions because you sort of, I mean, Gabrielle asked me a question. It's like, how far should we dream? Well, you just did it right now for Alex Ritchie. This is somewhat reasonable, argued and all that. That's right. And then there was Liana at one time that was asking me, how much social media should we put in? You know, so I would have expected that since she was presenting today, there was going to be a ton of social media. But I don't think there was much mention about social media because it's in there, but it's not the centerpiece. So this is great. This is the button-up team that I dream at the end of the Maya every time that comes and just shows the persona, shows the narrating, shows the different phases, shows the positioning, shows all of this. And now the only thing I'm sort of praying is, oh my God, can they do that for Kate and Corbett? Or it was just for Alex Ritchie? Oh my God, maybe they can only do this for Alex Ritchie. And they should have been there, whatever, 5 years ago when it was Alex Ritchie, because you're doing such a good job for Alex Ritchie. Can you do it for Kevin Corbett? I'm just hoping now that it's going to translate into Kevin Corbett. But I'm thinking, if it translates, at least, you know what? Cohort 12, there will be at least one group that understood what I'm doing, because that's the group of Alex Ritchie. And you've understood. Are there things that I think you should fix? Well, you know, let's be honest. You're not talking much about budget. You're not talking much about money. You know, how much is he going to make in the different phases and what he rolls into the next phases. Should you do this to some extent? Just for you to know, I'm aware that I mean, I don't know if you realize the jump that you've done since January. This is a big jump. This presentation to the presentation that people were doing at the beginning, it's massive. Because maybe you're really good at pretending, but you make it sound like you understand what you're talking about, and it's very fun to watch you, walk the walk. And so maybe, you know, for everyone to inject a bit of budget and a bit of money involved in this, but I'm not going to go crazy on this because unfortunately, that's a lot of what's going to be asked in the next class. And so I know you're going to learn it from the next class, so I don't want to jam everything in one class. And I just want to be honest with you, it's really missing there, but if you don't have it, don't tell anyone. It's okay, because it's coming in the next class. So we'll focus on things bit by bit, not try to be perfect on this class, right? So that's what we're going to sort of let go. It's going to be, but a little talk about budget would be awesome through the phases. Another thing is you sold, so let me ask you something. Seasons Radio as a warm community. What would that be? Is it a strategy? Is it a strength? What is it?
Opportunity, baby.
It's an opportunity, exactly. But now, is it a strategic opportunity or a tactical opportunity? Right? It's an easy question, huh? Is it strategic or tactical?
I think that's tactical.
It's tactical. And that's why you didn't talk about it at the beginning, because it's a small thing that you did talk as an opportunity. You even used the word opportunity, and it's a tactical opportunity that you took when you were talking about the phases. Great. Now just feel this. Like when I'm speaking, am I speaking strategic or tactical? So at the beginning, you needed to speak a little bit more strategic. If you can take just a few minutes, and anyone can leave because we passed the time, but I just want to give this feedback to this group and whoever wanted to. Can you go back to the section that really was what you think was the opportunity, but unfortunately you were sort of telling Alex Ritchie what to do. So it was much more at the beginning. Maybe the third slide or the fourth slide or something. Persona, fantastic job. So the next gen concept, essentially, that's sort of your strategy opportunity, but you didn't say that. So you have to tell us, you know, so your big vision of the strategy that you want to go for is this cross-gender, multi-gender thing, and it works for a specific target, blah, blah, blah. So you have to sort of tell us that that's a strategic vision. So use that term at that time. But when you talked about the opportunity, it was before. I think it was Christian Martin section. So it was before this. It was a slide before.
I think it was like slide 4. So
yeah,
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Go.
Yes, exactly. So unfortunately, here it says areas for growth, what you should be doing, opportunity. It was sort of modeled. And that's why you should have been more specific about the opportunity, I think, and state that they are opportunity and not state them as what we think you should be doing. Otherwise, you mix both. And so that's small. You can fix this, but don't do it again. Really stick to the concept of opportunity and don't tell them what to do. But now the last thing I want to say to everyone, don't sell the pitch too quick. What would be great as a bonus on this is if you gave us different direction and you told us why 1 is not good, 2 is not good, and why 3 is good. So you say, you know, I don't know, electronic music is the fastest growing music style in America for the 20 to 24 years old. And then you say, why is not going to do electric music because it doesn't fit in or whatever. So you need to give us some solution that you're going to say that there are potential solution. Don't take them as bad as the one I just gave you, but some potential solution. But why you don't recommend those, but you recommend these? That way it shows the client that you add a choice of things to recommend, but within the choice, you pick the best one out of the choice. So we want to get this feel of what. So there's a little bit of a suspense. And if you remember the Valley Hive, I was recommending this. Don't recommend the flavored honey. Recommend 3 things, and eventually you say those 3 things are great, but here's the problem with the 3 things. We found the 4th one that we think is great, and then you talk about the 4th one, which is the great one. So you miss this. So remember why you miss this, because normally as a consultant, you get paid a lot of money. So you make sure that the clients get some feedback based on their, so they get many solutions, not just one. And of the many solutions, you recommend the one that is the best. So you have to do this. So try to take them not too weak, the solution that you don't recommend. Ideally, it would be great if you had 3 great solutions, and then there's a 4th that's even better, and you go, wow, the other one were great. But here, fantastic job. I'm so delighted. I'm hoping that the rest of the class has paid attention and are realizing little by little what needs to be done. Obviously, you can send me the opportunities. I think we start at this stage. I need to see these. And once you start breaking the opportunity, you have this story, and I tell you found it, run. Then not next week, but the week after, half of the class is going to be the exam, not next week, the week after. And half of the class is going to be for you to just come with your group for just a few minutes and pitch what is this idea, just to make sure that we are good.